Set against the backdrop of World War II, The Women in the Castle, a historical novel by American author Jessica Shattuck, follows the lives of 3 women, the widows of men whose attempt to assassinate Hitler ended in failure. These women grapple with their nation's devastation and the collective guilt felt by the German populace. Praised by critics and a New York Times bestseller, the novel is recognized for its skillful exploration of familial history to dissect complicity and individual responses to widespread wrongdoing. The novel's prologue unfolds in 1938, where Marianne von Lingenfels hosts a gathering at the ancestral castle, Burg Lingenfels. Among the attendees is her dear friend Connie Flederman, accompanied by his new bride, the beautiful Bonita. As the night progresses, Marianne joins her husband Albrecht, Connie, and others in discussing the infamous Kristallnacht. United in their belief that opposing Hitler is their duty, they pledge to resist. Fast forward 7 years, and Marianne brings Bonita and her son Martin to Burg Lingenfels. Marianne has rescued them, Martin from a re-education center after Connie's death at the hands of the Nazis, and Bonita from a harrowing life of exploitation in Russian-occupied Berlin. The narrative then transports us back to 1938, offering insight into Bonita's upbringing in the small town of Frohlinghausen. Enthusiastically embracing the Nazi movement, she becomes involved with the Bund Deutscher Mädel organization for Nazi women. A chance encounter with Connie alters her path, as she falls for him and envisions him as her prince. In 1945, Marianne cares for a wounded Martin and a sick Bonita. A benevolent American officer observes her struggles and assigns her a German prisoner of war, Franz Müller, to assist her. Though reluctant, Marianne eventually accepts the offer. Marianne hands Bonita an envelope containing a letter from Connie, but Bonita refrains from opening it. Marianne reflects on Connie's demise during his ill-fated attempt to assassinate Hitler in 1944. Sensing Bonita's condition, Marianne asks Müller to care for her, leading to a bond forming between nurse and patient. Müller presents young Martin with toy soldiers for amusement, much to Marianne's displeasure, who disapproves of the gift source. Curious about Müller's past, Marianne inquires with the Americans and discovers his involvement in Nazi crimes, prompting her to request his removal. Anya Grabarek, another widow tied to the assassination attempt, arrives at the castle accompanied by her 2 sons. The arrival of Russian soldiers prompts action. Bonita conceals herself with the children in the cellars, while Marianne and Anya provide refuge in the barns, even giving up a horse belonging to local nobleman Karsten Kellerman, satisfying the soldiers' demands. Amidst the tense situation, Bonita ventures to warn Müller of the Russian presence. To her surprise, it's not him who's in peril, but she herself. The soldier's ominous intent is evident, and Bonita clings to a paring knife in her pocket. We're privy to the agonizing year following her husband's death. Taken captive by advancing Russian forces, Bonita experiences rape and abuse at the hands of several soldiers. The devastating news of her son Martin's supposed demise is also delivered by the Russians. Meanwhile, Müller finds himself confined to a prisoner of war camp, with a visit on Christmas Eve from Martin and Anya's sons. The adults attend a performance of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, a stirring experience that moves the entire audience to tears. Part 2 leaps 5 years ahead to 1950. Bonita and Marianne have relocated with their families to a residence in Tollingen. Together, they journey to Karsten Kellerman's farm, where his union with Anya is being celebrated. At the reception, a newspaper photographer captures an image that deeply unsettles Anya. The 3 women engage in a conversation about love. Bonita's visit to Müller reveals a romantic relationship between them. Müller's attempt to share his wartime experiences is halted by Bonita, who insists that everyone is guilty. Anya receives a letter signed by R. Brandt. Her response denies knowledge of the sender's identity. Bonita breaks the news to Marianne about her engagement to Müller, but Marianne reacts with a refusal to bless the union due to Müller's tainted past, which she sees as an affront to Connie's memory. This sparks a heated argument between them. A man named Rainer Brandt appears at the Kellerman farm, seeking Anya Kellerman or Anya Brandt. Anya shelters him in the now shuttered Burg Lingenfels. Marianne candidly explains to Müller her reservations about his marrying Bonita. Müller concurs, leading to the dissolution of their engagement. Fueled by Marianne's role in this outcome, Benita enrolls Martin in boarding school and departs without bidding farewell to Marianne. With Benita gone, Marianne finds solace in a visit to Berg Lingenfels, where she stumbles upon Anya nursing Rainer Brandt. Anya discloses her true identity to Marianne, confessing that she had stolen Anya Graberek's name after her fellow traveler was killed. Disgusted by Anya's actions, Marianne refrains from revealing the truth to her friend Kellerman. The subsequent chapters offer insight into Anya's narrative. Anya and Rainer initially embraced Nazism, working in Hitler youth training camps across Germany, their optimism flourishing for Germany's future. However, Rainer's deployment to the Russian front inflicted trauma, depression, and abusive tendencies upon his return. Anya began to hear rumors about the concentration camps, grappling with a conflicted awareness of the horrors. She chose to visit a labor camp to confront the truth firsthand, confirming the veracity of the disturbing reports. Under the cover of darkness, she fled with her children. In the year 1950, Benita returns to her hometown of Frohlinghausen, where she finally opens the sealed letter from Connie, a missive gifted by Marianne. Reading its contents, she undergoes a transformation of perception regarding her late husband. Consumed by sorrow and remorse, Benita tragically takes her own life. Following Benita's funeral, Marianne encounters a Jewish man who reveals his plans to emigrate to America. Inspired, Marianne decides to pursue the same path. The novel's closing section unfolds in 1991. Martin pays Marianne a visit at her main residence, and she extends an invitation to Berg Lingenfels, where a celebratory gathering in her honor is scheduled later that year. Meanwhile, Anya travels to Massachusetts to visit her daughter, Mary, who has also received an invitation to Marianne's upcoming event. At the party, Marianne and Anya reunite after 4 decades of separation, finding reconciliation. Marianne discovers that Rainer had passed away the day following her encounter with him. While Marianne is hailed as a resistance hero and delivers the keynote speech, she grapples with her own role in Rainer's demise and Benita's tragic suicide. Overwhelmed, she collapses, and Martin is there to catch her. The novel's final chapter shifts the focus to Clotilde, Muller's daughter. As Clotilde tends to her ailing father in his final moments, she reflects on his actions during the wartime era and the shadows they cast on their lives. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.